Hi everyone, welcome to researchmd.com. We got a great presentation today. Today we're going to teach you about outcomes of statistical hypothesis testing. My name is Pramil Cheriyath. I work as a program director, internal medicine transitional residency. I teach medical students. I'm a director of research and an assistant professor of medicine. So let's get into our subject. So in a study in hypothesis, there could be two outcomes, right? One is there is no difference. That is called null hypothesis. When you have alternative hypothesis, that's saying like there is a difference. Okay, so the null and that null hypothesis is H0, and the other one is called like H1, alternate hypothesis. So let's look at understanding at a table right here. In reality, there is no difference, but when the studies say like reject null hypothesis. So that is called a type 1 error, okay? In the same, if you look at the bottom, in the reality, there is a difference, but the study outcome say does not reject null hypothesis. That's like a type 2 error, okay? So now what is again like type 1 error? It's also called alpha, stating that there is an effect or difference when none exists, okay? So that is what the type 1 error is. It's also known as like false positive error. So alpha is the probability of like making the type 1 error. And if p-value is greater than alpha, you accept the null hypothesis. If the p-value is less than alpha, you reject the null hypothesis. Let's say an example. Everybody heard the story about the wolf, crying for wolf, right? First time the boy cries wolf, Tom believed there is a wolf. That's like a false positive. Okay, now let's look at the type 2 error, which is also called beta, stating there is no difference when there is one exists. Okay, the null is not rejected when it's in fact is false. So it's also known as false negative error, and the beta is the probability of them making type 2 error, and beta is related to the statistical power like 1 minus beta, which is the probability of rejecting the null when it is false. So let's bring our wolf story again. So second time boy cries wolf, the town believed there is no wolf, but there is one. Okay, so that is a type 2 error. So when you look at the statistical power, it's actually 1 minus beta. In statistic power, what is power? It refers to the likelihood of hypothesis test detecting the true effect if there is one. Okay, it's the likelihood of in hypothesis test detecting a true effect if there is one. A statistically powerful test is more likely to reject the false negative like type 2 error. So higher the statistical power for a given experiment, lower the probability of making type 2 or false negative error. So it can increase power, decrease type 2 error by increasing the sample size. Remember that. Thank you so much for watching.